Hello there everybody, I'm Joey Hollywood, and today I'd like to give my thoughts on the new Tick show. Now at the point of me recording this, there is only the pilot episode out. When I was a little kid, one of my favorite television shows was The Tick, the animated one. I used to watch that every Saturday. I remember Taco Bell, I think, had toys and I used to collect them. I was crazy about this show as a kid. I remember in 2001 when the live action Tick show came out, I begged my mom to let me stay up and watch it because I remember it came on past my bedtime. I remember being disappointed by it because it wasn't exactly like the cartoon. Give me a break, I was a kid. But over the years, I have grown to love that show almost as much as the animated series. I've only read a handful of Tick comics. The only one I can remember specifically reading was The Tick versus the Tick. I may not be the biggest Tick fan, but I certainly enjoy it, and I've been waiting for this show for a long time. And when I first heard about it and saw some promotional images, well, I was a little hesitant. I wasn't a big fan of the Tick's new look, and I never heard of the actor before, so I was a little hesitant on that as well. In the context of the show, the costume doesn't look too bad. Like, I still don't like it, but it's not as bad as the promotional images make it out to be. Any hesitation I had about the new actor was instantly removed the moment he started opening his mouth and talking. He doesn't sound like Patrick Warburton, and in my opinion that's a good thing, because this guy sounds like the cartoon, or at least a variation of him.
You're not going crazy, Arthur. You're going sane in a crazy world.
I love this new guy's direction. I'm not too sold on his mask. I wish it was a little bit more like big-chinned, and I feel like the space around his eyes is a bit too big and he looks kind of awkward. I also don't like the Ripley design his new costume has. It looks very dumb, like they painted over a Nolan Batman costume, which I think might actually be the joke, that like these newer superheroes, they have unnecessary like ripples and divots in their costumes just so they're trying not to look comic booky. And maybe it's a joke, like they've done that so much that it looks stupid. I don't know, that's just an idea. I'm not a big fan of Arthur's look either. He actually looks like a moth now, where it's always been the running joke that he was a guy in a bunny costume. And now he actually looks like a moth, but yeah, it's fine. Like, these little faults don't ruin the show for me. In fact, I'm so excited. I watched this thing 3 times. I loved it. It had everything I was hoping for. It's a blend between the 2001 show, the cartoon, which is my favorite incarnation, and it's a parody of a lot of the superhero tropes we've been seeing now. It's melodramatic, but I think that's part of the joke, because these superhero shows and movies have been getting ridiculously dark, and sometimes, in the case of like the Fantastic Four, needlessly dark. And I think I think the melodramatic aspect of this new Tick show is a parody of that. And I love it. I hope the show gets picked up. I took the survey, I said, make this a full season. Now, some of the criticisms I've had in this video, like the suits, that's just nitpicks. Though I don't really consider those legitimate criticisms. But there's one thing that I think was particularly poorly done. This show is done in like a Panavision style. That's the very thin cropping. And normally I don't mind that, but in this show I think it doesn't work at all. And I think the reason for that being is they constantly are trying to get the Tick's antennas into the screen, so most of the screen is just empty space. Now if this were in 16:9, this wouldn't be so much of an issue. But because it is such a thin aspect ratio, it's very jarring. It's like, oh, look at all this unutilized space. Where if it was 16:9, the Tick would have taken up most of the space on the screen, and it wouldn't be as like weird looking. I remember the original live action Tick having similar framing problems in the first few episodes, and then it got better as it went along. I don't know. I just really like this show, and I hope it continues. I will watch the hell out of it. I don't have an Amazon Prime account, but I will find a way to legally watch this show because I want it to succeed. Well, those are my thoughts on the new Tick show. I really liked it. What was your opinion of it? Do you think it was as good as I thought it was, or do you not like it? Leave your comments in the comments section and we'll talk about it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.
good. It's warm. It's like the inside of bread.
I'm not gonna get inside of bread with you. Do you understand that?
Not really.